Hi, my name is Terry. I do guitars and vocals in the melodic death metal band Draemora, and you're watching Metal DNA. I'm not going to do them in any order, but let's start with Soilwork. Basically because Soilwork is one of the most important metal bands to me when I was kind of, coming up in the scene. A lot of bands, we listen to a lot of dirty old death metal type bands, but you can't, I'm just more eclectic than that. And, at that time I listened to a lot of hip hop, I listened to a lot of rock. I even liked Jack Johnson a lot back in that time when I was growing up. And I think that Soilwork just kind of blew everyone else away right around them, in my opinion. And I think the reason for that is Peter Witchers was just an incredible songwriter. So when someone really, really loves metal and they can bring their kind of great songwriting into that, that's when you get these really amazing, huge bands like Soilwork that are not only like extremely melodic in the right way, but it's still driving, still got all the elements of metal that would make a metalhead respect the band. Really nicely laid in solos, and the solos are also very articulate and played well. The drumming is amazing in Soilwork, the vocals are amazing in Soilwork, and I don't think that they really made a bad album yet. I don't know. Children of Bodom, and I know some of my friends who love Melodeath. Children of Bodom was and is still one of their very favorite bands, and Alexi Laiho is a dude that influenced a ton of people with his guitar playing. Super shredder, great vocalist. The songs were super, super hooky, like Are You Dead Yet and all those kind of like, you couldn't get the songs out of your head, and that's usually a sign that that's going to be sticking around for a while. I think unfortunately, things might have fallen apart, and I don't know exactly what happened. I haven't been following them super closely, but they were super important back in the day to me and my friends, and I think that Children of Bodom will, you put on some of those albums, they still hold the test of time for sure. See, another really important Melodeath band to me, a lot of great songs, and I don't hear about them a ton, but Symmetry. Really, really great players, and I think that they could end up in the prog rock side sometimes, prog death, but I'd say they're more on the Melodeath side. Symmetry is definitely cool, and I know Per Nilsson is in Symmetry, and he's an amazing guitar player. There's bands, like I said, that get swept into the Melodeath thing. I think the Black Dahlia Murder is a Melodeath band. And the reason I think that is, they can be a bit thrashy, but the songs have a lot of melodic content, and they're fast, and the vocals are great, and I love Black Dahlia Murder. They're like, I don't know, I've joked about them being like the new Slayer, because they're awesome. They carry the flag extremely well for death metal, and I think that a lot of people get into metal, and I don't even know how it's possible, but people consider that to be like a more palatable version of death metal. And I think that not only is the music sound that way, but Trevor Sturnad, the singer, vocalist, also is so kind of vital to bringing people in, as he used to do so many columns and stuff where he would push new bands through big magazines and through YouTube channels and all kinds of stuff, where he would go over bands that weren't like big and push them, that he thought was cool. And I think that that's just amazing. So the personalities in that band are amazing, but they're just amazing dudes, and they just keep pumping out great albums that sound good and are catchy and have great parts. So Black Dahlia Murder is an amazing band. I don't even know where we are with how many we've done so far. Amon Amarth is another band that they've kind of carved out their own place. When I first heard that band, I didn't think much of it because I think it might have, I might have been shown it at a time when I didn't really understand exactly what they were trying to do. But these days I listen to it and I really think it's cool. I think what they do is cool. They have their own thing going on. And again, really great hooky parts, great songwriting, good musicians, and cool guys that seem to be carrying the flag well for Melodeath, and I think they're cool. Can't really talk about Melodeath without talking about At the Gates. It's impossible to talk about Melodeath without talking about, what some people consider to be probably one of the most important Melodeath bands out there. Some people, think that everyone copied At the Gates, and they might be true, but too many great things to list about that band, At the Gates. Another great band that I think has just always impressed me with kind of doing things on their own terms over and over and over again and still being pretty successful is Inflames. And I got into Inflames a long time ago, so I've watched them evolve over the years into what they are now. And some people hate on that, what they've turned into, I guess. But if you go back and listen to Clayman now, and you listen to anything after that, it's different, Is it different in a bad way? I don't think so. I mean, can you be a band for that many years and keep playing Clayman over and over and over again? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You got to grow. So, and besides, I always think it's funny. It's like people get mad about bands changing. You can just go back and listen to Clayman again. You can just listen to it whenever you want. They already made it. So, In Flames, great band. See, who else do we got here, man? A band that my buddy got me into just a little bit ago, Kalmah. I didn't really know about them until just a second ago, but I guess that they were around a long time ago, and they were, the stuff I listen to now. I'm not really sure how I didn't hear about them until about a year or two ago, but really cool band, Kalmah, just amazing stuff. Almost power metal at times, but definitely got the melodic stuff going on and the hooks for the songs. So Kalmah's another one. A band I've been in and out of listening to for a long time has been The Haunted. I love the riffs in The Haunted, and they've got this like falling off the hinges, almost thrash kind of thing going on a lot of the time. But it's definitely a Melodeath. It's got the melodic input. It's got good hooky songwriting, and it's very powerful. And it's Swedish. It's got that Swedish thing going on. So The Haunted is another one. Arch Enemy. Now I grew up. My friends all listen to Arch Enemy, and I really have a ton of respect for that band. I think they're still good these days. I just don't know how relevant they are. Although they sell out huge arenas, and it's hard to know. You know what I mean? Things just aren't the way they used to be, where there's like radio and MTV, kind of telling you who's popular. It's hard to tell. I mean, there's a lot of bands out there that have some serious tenure that are still pulling huge crowds, and I think that Arch Enemy is one of those bands because they're really important. They were really important to Melodeath in the early 2000s, and the reason why is because their melodies were insane. Again, a lot like Soilwork, they had great vocals, and Angela Gassau, she was a woman, but we won't make that the main focus. I think that that was surprising when I found out that was a woman, but I didn't really think much of it. The band was awesome. She was a great vocalist. She was obviously a great front woman, and they wrote amazing songs. So I don't know if we're at 10 yet, but let's throw up Winter Sun. I think Winter Sun is probably one of the, kind of weirdest things that I've come across in Melodeath. And not just the music, but kind of like the song, the way the albums have gotten put out. There was the one, and then there was a crowdfund to make another album, and took like $1 gajillion and sounded pretty good, but not as much as they were hyped up to be. That's a lesson learned for everyone involved with that, everyone who donated, and make the makers of that album, I would say. But still, Winter Sun's an important band. Really great, good songwriting, great guitar players, great drummer. Everything sounds great. Winter Sun's a cool band. I just think that's funny that there was that whole debacle with the crowdfunding thing. Anyways, I don't even know how many that was. I didn't count. Kind of did this pretty quickly. But please go check out my band, Draemora. We have an EP out. It's called The Awakening, and you can get it anywhere that albums can be streamed. And please check out our Facebook, which is Draemora Music, and our Instagram, which is also Draemora Music, one word, at Draemora Music. Go check out our Instagram, go check out our Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. We're trying to get more subscribers. And thank you for checking this out. Goodbye.